Hello class, welcome to week 10. I just want to give you a quick video oversight of where we're headed, overview of where we're headed, I think is the proper term. Not a lot of extra content this week. I've tried to really lighten this week up. I know you're writing a lot of papers, you got a lot of classes on. Remember that the final project for this particular class is a compilation of the work you've done in this quarter. I've kind of reimagined how I offered this course, and a big part of that is really building these papers on one another so that now that you're at the end, the signature assignment kind of collates that and connects the dots. So the early, autobiography and context help you understand, here's what I thought about Christian vocation when I came into the quarter, and here's why that was my praxis. The next integrated reflections give you a vantage point, a historical theology vantage point, a contemporary theology vantage point, a biblical exegetical vantage point, so you can start thinking theologically deep about the concept of Christian vocation. So in your intro and conclusion, you really want to connect the dots and all of that. Say, this is where I am, this is what it means to think theologically deep about this, so here's the steps I need to take. And that's all part one of the 3 parts of the paper. The next 2 parts, obviously a whole lot shorter. You're going to have a quick reflection on how you developed your CIQ, and then you're going to bring out the CIQ conversation there. And then finally, the rule of life. So if this is where I was at, this is what it means to think theologically deep. Here's where I'm sensing God is calling me to hear and be obedient to Him. Then the rule of life is, so here's a concrete spiritual practices I'm going to engage in to shape me into becoming that person I believe God is calling me to be. And that's what I hope at the end of this quarter, as you look back, what you've really gotten out of it is an understanding of Christian vocation is the spiritual practices I engage in so that I can hear and obediently follow that voice of God in my life. So in the week 10 discussion, you're going to spend some time reflecting back on where you've been this quarter, and then offering some words of encouragement to your fellow students, I think is how it works for the rest of the week. Also, I've asked whether or not you completed the course evaluation. I realize this takes a little extra time, so I want to give you credit for it. So even if you haven't done the course evaluation by the time you get to that post and you intend to do it, just say you've done it, you'll get credit for that. There's also a quiz this week. It's simply just a place to report that you've, as best as you can remember, what percentage of the different spiritual practices you engaged in during the quarter. And just give me a rough estimate. It's not... there's no lie detector test on that. Just as you recall, this is where you've been engaging with the spiritual disciplines that popped up throughout the quarter. And I think scrolling through, that should roughly get you through to the end. The final project is due midnight Sunday of week 10. If you're running into any troubles or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Just put something on the Q&A, send an email or text to me. And we'll help you out as best as we possibly can. I hope you really have enjoyed this class. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and hopefully our paths will cross again someday in the future.